Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to another Friday night at Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, my darlings. Comment allez-vous? Oh, boy.
Darlings.
Okay. Everybody all right? Yeah. Groovy. How you guys doing? Oh, Lord, groovy. Wait a minute. What decade are we in? Uh-huh. Oh, Lord, groovy. Well, she really took it back.
That's something to do with that Volkswagen bus.
Look, I hear some ice over there. What is going on? What is going on? I don't know anything about that.
This little brown bird came and delivered a package.
Woo! Okay, one of those nights already. It's all good in the neighborhood, huh? Hey, it's always all good in the neighborhood. We're going to take it back. You want to go back into time. Let's go back to David Bowie. Let's dance. Put your red dress on. Hey. Fame was my favorite. Yeah, that was I can imagine. Yep.
You got Niles Rodgers to thank for all that.
Yeah, you better believe it. For sure. He still haven't gotten that Hall of Fame yet? What's up with that? I don't know. I thought he finally did it, didn't he?
He went in there as like a music director or something like that. I don't know. He was in. I saw a movie the other night that gave him credit for. It was a movie about. You ever seen it before about the airplane stewardess? A while back with Gwyneth Paltrow was in it. It was called Royal Airlines. It's called Royal Airlines.
Oh, I did see that movie. Gwyneth Paltrow was the stewardess.
With the stewardess, yeah.
I did see that.
And
I thought that was
tests
so
with
weird.
her. It was a good movie, but at the end they sang "We Are Family," and at the end the credits said written by Niles Rodgers. I was like, wow, my man.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, good.
There you go. There it is. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get it cranked. Get it in? Go for it. All right. Sit back, relax. We got our hot topics tonight. We have the Supreme Court blocked 2020 census citizenship question for now. Also, runaway Oregon Senate Republicans will return to work on Saturday. Really? And round one of the Democratic debate. I hit it and quit it headlines. Arby's is testing meat products that look like big carrots. Okay. Also, James Alex Fields sentenced in Charlottesville attack for the hate crime. And San Francisco bans e-cigarettes. What's popping with Poppa DD tonight? Our weird news, of course. We got to lighten it up. Scientists cloning dogs using just pooch's urine. Okay. And historical marker commemorates reported alien abduction. And man-built bomb to warn about alien threats. I'm just saying with Redwine, you can't shut up, everybody. Living for the city with Poppa DD. You got a surprise for us tonight. My Hollywood wrap-up. I got quite a bit to talk about the BET Awards and our hometown girl, Regina Hall. Also, the cocktail of the week, Rosemary Citrus Greyhound. Interesting. Our Kiss It list and the last word. So sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, and we'll be right back with the hot topic.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right. Looks like our first topic is the Supreme Court blocks a 2020 census citizenship question for now. Okay. Now, first of all, it says they temporarily blocked it. The Supreme Court temporarily blocked the Trump administration's plan to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census Thursday, giving opponents a new hope of defeating it. All right. Now, the ruling by Chief Justice John Roberts, all right, questioned the ration for the administrator's efforts, just as challenging states and immigrants' right groups has done. The evidence tells a story that does not match the explanation. So they saying they right now they're not going to entertain changing anything. I think personally they're not going to change anything because all those censor forms for 2020 are already printed.
Well, they claim they haven't printed them yet.
Yeah, whatever.
And they're rushing them for the deadline to get it done.
They printed those things.
The Trump administration is wanting them to hold on the printing date because they still are trying to hold on to the chance that they can get this citizenship question added on there. But my question is this: like, what are they trying to what are they trying to gain?
Reading over this briefly, I don't really see what the actual question was. They say a citizenship question.
The question is, are you a citizen?
Are you?
That's what they're trying to find out.
Okay.
So anybody who's here illegally, obviously, they're not going to want to participate in the census if they're not a citizen, because then they would have to say no. So now you're flagging your own self, putting a target on your own back to say, yeah, let me give you all my information about how many people are in my family, et cetera, et cetera. And by the way, I'm not a citizen. So that could imply either you're here illegally or by, visa or whatever.
Yeah.
But see, this has to do with trying to count people, how you're going to look at your resources. And see, that's the problem. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in until you finished.
No, you do all the time. Go ahead, do your thing.
Oh, excuse me. But this has to do, it's similar to me, to the way they handle the gerrymandering when they start moving boundaries of what is considered a county or, where they move the lines of who's in what area geographically. They move those lines when they're trying to keep a certain group of people in a certain location. If you have a large block of people who vote, for example, if you got a big block of people who typically vote Democratic, and now you move the boundary line to say, okay, those of you that were in County A, we're going to change the boundary, so now you're going to be in County B, and the lines for County A are going to move a little more this way. Now you change the way that everything looks. So when you look at their voting results and they say, okay, here's the results for County A, now it's not so much, oh, yeah, County A is totally red or totally blue. Because once you start moving lines, that's how you start changing the way things work. And that stuff has to do with the budget. It has to do with resources. It has to do with how they put the money together for who's going to get money for roads and schools and everything. And it's the same with the census. So that's why it was a big deal. So the Supreme Court, basically, they tried to get the Supreme Court to put their stamp of approval on adding this question of, are you a citizen? And the Supreme Court went, no, we're not going for that. So I don't know if they're going to come back with it again, but that's what the Trump administration was trying to push. So that's all I'm saying on that for now.
Okay.
I might say more later, but that's all.
I don't know why the producer didn't give you the story to read, because you're up on it more than I am.
I think for me it just pisses me off that people keep on trying to manipulate the system.
Well, on that note, the one horror story I have from 2010, and this is no stuff. When it comes to census, people taking census, you know, soon as that time frame comes around, you know, watch yourself and watch your surroundings, because census people are like narcs. They are vicious. You know, it's a good paying job too. If you need some money, you need some side money. It's a good job. You know, it's a good position. It lasts us for about a year, but I think they pay like $20 an hour. You know.
Oh yeah.
You can apply for it. You can't have a record though. You can't have any kind of record of felon or whatever on your record. But if you got a clean record, you know, you can put in for it to be a census taker. But they're vicious. I mean, I remember one time, you know, I'm really not home as much in my house. And this guy, one time, as soon as they were leaving little notes saying the Census Bureau was here, and they never caught me. But I went in the house one time, and all of a sudden, the guy knocked on my door like 2 seconds later. And I asked him, I said, "Were you watching me?" Well, I was sitting outside, you know.
Gee.
I said, "Monkey, are you staking my ass?" You know, because I guess different people are assigned a whole street. And when you live in a street with row houses, they're assigned to that whole street. So believe me, they scope. First they look, see who's going up in there, and tell you it's vicious. It's vicious. So I think the more count they get, the more credibility their reports are when they turn them in. So around that time frame, they're gonna be staking your house. Believe me, when you see a car out there or a person sitting out there, but I think anybody out there in radio land that needs a job or needs a second hustle for any particular reason, you know, look into that censor thing, because it's a good job. You know, it pays good money, and it's a seasonal thing, but it pays a pretty good dollar, at least $25 an hour. So.
Well, I hope they don't hunt me down.
Yeah, they'll track you down.
I don't recall ever having a physical person come and ask me anything. I'm trying to remember. Like, do they send stuff in the mail?
They may send it, but I probably did send mine back. That's why they were at my door.
That's why they let you down.
Yeah, well, you know.
I don't remember. Hey, Ketel, did you ever submit anything? Or did they come to you?
Yeah. I think back in the day when they first started the census, I think that's what they were doing. But most recently, they were sending out things through the mail, from what I remember.
Now, this happened in 2010 to me, which was the last time they held it.
Right.
It's every 10 years.
Every 10, right.
But I definitely did not mail mine back in. You know.
Unless it depends on the jurisdiction. I mean, it depends on where you are. They might need to do a physical count other than sending it through the mail, you know. Be more a little accurate, you know. So.
Right. I was in the hood, you know. I mean, you know. But
I just feel like, you know, there's some scheming going on.
Always.
With this stuff.
Always.
You know,
always,
it's like
always.
If you're trying to get more black people, then you're going to go hard to get the black people. If you're going after Latino people, then they go hard after trying to get that information.
It's very evident. The biggest thing that's very evident today is the fact that they have these little makeshift hospitals in these parks, like in Central Park and all these little towns, like in Seattle. They have these parks where different people that's hooked on oxycodone can go and get a quick fix in there, but they also register them as voters, especially the Caucasian ones that are Republican voters, because they still want to get the vote. But they wouldn't have a quick fix area set up for crackheads. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Black crackheads. You know what I mean?
Because they're not Republicans?
Or
because they're black?
They don't give a shit about their existence, period. But the white vote, they want to keep getting it, and they see somebody just strung out. If they see 100 people in that neighborhood strung out, that's 100 votes. So why don't we set up a makeshift place to give them a synthetic type of oxy that's going to tie them over, but we'll register them to vote, and come election time, we're going to escort them and drive them to the polls.
So is this supposed to be like,
this
what's that stuff they do, like methadone?
Whatever it is.
Methadone, whatever it's called. Something that's supposed to ease you
It's a
off
synthetic,
of
right? It's
the whatever it is.
Well, they're not going to ease them off because they're junkies. You know what I mean? They don't want to being in fact they're Caucasian junkies.
Well, I'm just saying. I remember there was a time when people that were strung out on heroin, you know, you would go to the places where they would try to help you shake the heroin monkey, and they would give you methadone or methadone, however.
And they call it epidemic. save my child. But crack, you know.
Can I just throw out a sidebar? I saw something today on CBS on the whistleblowers. They were talking about this guy who was a whistleblower, worked for some pharmaceutical company that made fentanyl lollipops that these drug pharmaceutical companies were distributing. But he was saying that the company that he worked for, the pharmaceutical, wanted him to specifically go to these go to these doctors and get them to push this stuff like under a different name or something, basically like off-brand or whatever they call it, off-branding, to try to push fentanyl even more. And in his case, it was in the form of a lollipop. He was saying there have been people who have been found dead with a lollipop in their hand. And he said that in good conscience, he just could not be involved in that. So he went to the authorities, and they said, well, would you be willing to wear a wire? Because that's the only way we're going to be able to bust this up. So he put on the wire, and it was on, one of the CBS, I guess, weekend reports or something. But just goes to show you that when these companies decide, look, we're trying to make money, if these people really want this kind of painkiller, this fentanyl, knowing what it has done to people, we'll put it in a lollipop format where they can just lick it, suck it, whatever, to soothe them. And if they go too far with it, well, that's on them. That's not on us. That's on them. Yeah. We'll get these doctors to prescribe it and give them some kickbacks. But anyway, I know I got off the rails.
Yeah, you got off the rails. Yeah.
I did. I admit it.
Yeah, you need to back off.
All right. Well,
who's next? Are you
speaking
next?
of Republicans, Ketel, what's going on out there in Oregon?
This is called the Runaway Oregon Senate Republicans. They will return to work on Saturday. Who works on Saturday? So
yeah, but
they're saying
left town.
The whole Oregon Senate Republicans, they left. So they're saying that they have an obligation to pass budget bills, and he believes lawmakers can complete that work by the midday on Sunday deadline for lawmakers to adjourn. So this is crazy. It's like, how is that possible? Everybody just leaving all at one time?
Where's OJ on it?
Walking out and denying Democrats a 20-member quorum they need to conduct business. So they couldn't even finish their business. So there's no reason to have a special session, said in a press conference. If we have a special session, it's because, quote-unquote, Democrats' leadership chose to have a special session. Oregon lawmakers have some leeway on the budget bills since they already passed a continuing resolution that would allow state agencies to continue current spending levels. So they said the Republicans have shut down the Oregon State Senate for more than a week by walking out and denying Democrats the 20-member quorum they need to conduct business. They did this with the stated purpose of blocking a climate change bill, but have given mixed public messages that they might also be trying to stop various other bills. Oh, so it's not just that one bill. So, you're going to tell me all these people, they don't believe in this particular bill, so everybody's going to walk together? That just doesn't make any sense. So, and it goes on to say that denying a quorum is something that should never be used until we get to a point where we will no longer talk. So this is crazy. I've never heard anything like this. So they're supposed to return on Saturday, so we'll see.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how they shut down the Oregon Senate like that.
Yeah, it's so sad.
That was insane.
But all this is stemmed through Trump's attitude. The biggest thing the white folks do is monkey see, monkey do. The two things that they live by.
Right.
Yeah, well, they live by two different things, and I learned this in my life. They live by a monkey see, monkey do attitude, and the one who has the most toys wins. That's big for them. They'll respect the white guy on the block that's got the boat in the driveway and the car, and he owns a pizza shop, and all this crap. Oh yeah, that's Bill. He owns a pizza shop. He makes a lot of money, and they'll kiss his ass. I mean, they'll even give him. They'll give him his wife to. They'll turn their wife over for Jim to screw. I mean, it's you would never understand that particular species. I'm not speaking on all of them. I'm just speaking on the chosen few who know who they are. And like I said, when we get to Poppin, I'm going to give you an experience happened to me today in a liquor store that just blew my mind. But, yeah, it's so sad those Republicans walked out because they're following Trump's lead. You know, how they're not going to Senate meetings. They're saying, you know, don't you get a subpoena? Oh, don't worry about a subpoena. Because Trump has always had lawyers in his life paying a big money to divert. The biggest thing a lawyer can do is divert. Whenever you got a problem going on, hire a lawyer and divert it. But these are poor people. They ain't rich like you. So, sad, very sad. We're living on some crazy times.
I just have a serious problem with the way that those Republicans literally shut down the Senate like that. Because all of this was over originally the climate change
Trump
bill,
shut
right?
down the government?
Well, that's true. But I'm saying in Oregon, this had to do with because they disagreed with the bill about climate change.
Right.
They didn't want to vote on it.
And
they decided, you know what?
What's Trump's opinion?
Leave.
What's Trump's opinion on climate change?
He believes that it's all a farce anyway.
Exactly.
So they're going along with that.
They're going along with that.
And they decided, you know what? Not only are we not going to vote, but we're going to leave. So anything else that was on the docket will not get done as well. And then when the governor had to send the sheriffs out to try to round up these Republicans so that they could have a quorum to finish business.
And people are depending on these people to fulfill deadlines.
Exactly. The people of Oregon voted for these jokers to represent them. I kind of feel like I don't think this is what they intended.
So sad.
I hope that there's something that they can do to these.
So sad.
But it goes to show that they're not for the people anymore. They're just out for themselves and what they believe. It's not about the people anymore. And we have to watch who we put in the office. It starts from the bottom. You know, from these people to the judges to everything, you know, starting at the bottom. It's not always at the top. It's already at the top, Donald Trump. It's crazy behind. So. And
we got to watch who we call our friends today and our coworkers, because we don't know who in this world is a Trump supporter. When we go to talk casually, this person is thinking, like I said, I will tell you a story today in my segment that's going to blow your mind. But it's scary.
I agree, you know, but the problem is to say, yeah, we got to watch who we vote for. That's very true. But the problem is many times politicians make promises. They say various things when they're on the campaign trail. But then once they get the votes and get in office, you know, you what can you do? Once they're in there, now they might shift gears, which is what a lot of them do. All of that stuff they said when they were on the campaign trail sometimes goes to the wayside. And now it's like, oh, well, I got to vote party lines.
Well, I think mostly Trump, first of all, with him, a lot of people voted for him because that's their first time knowing him. If you live in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York area, you are very familiar with Trump. If you're a sports enthusiast, when he never got a team in the USFL, and you know, and he was pissed off with that, tried to sue them and everything because he wouldn't let them get a team in there. And so people up north know Trump already, but the Midwest farmer's daughter don't know him, and they voted for him because he came in with all that white rhetoric that the people out there on those farms and them bluegrass people, they loved it because they wasn't up the hillbillies their damn self. So when Trump started talking all that, kill her, lock her up, and the guy punched the black dude at the Republican convention. Entertaining.
He came out there and entertained.
Yeah, but he was entertaining Caucasians.
Right.
It ain't about entertaining the world. He was entertaining that group, that mass, that votes for him. This is why now he goes to his little press conference, his little meeting, those rallies, and he gets out there like Steve Harvey, like Bernie Mac. He changes completely. He's like a comedian. He's he's having fun. He's loving it because he's around his people, and he's loving it. So anyway.
Well, speaking of Trump, let's talk about the Democratic debates that happened this week.
Oh, yeah. Woo! I love it.
That was very, very interesting, very enlightening. I would just say that, let me start with who do I think did a good job.
Go ahead.
I think Kamala Harris did a great job. I think Cory Booker did a good job.
He sure did.
I think Pete Buttigieg did a great job. Castro did a very good job. The people who I think kind of like melted into the background.
And a couple of unknowns did a good job too, especially on the second debate with
the second one, yeah.
Right, a couple of second ones, because some of the main guys, what's the boy's name, Bernie Sanders?
You know what?
Horrible.
Let me talk about Bernie.
He was horrible.
I felt like Bernie, to me, came across just like an angry old man.
An angry old man saying that he repeated the same old stuff.
Man.
Well, we need free.
I just kept feeling like Bernie. Did you forget how to have any joy in your life?
Yeah, he's horrible. He's horrible.
He just seemed like he was just pissed off.
He needed to dye his hair.
Everybody.
He should go to a hairdresser and dye his hair.
I don't think that would change his attitude.
He should dye his hair, really.
It would change his look.
And get a tattoo.
Change his attitude.
Get a teardrop tattoo like prisoners.
Yeah, that's off the chain.
Get one of the teardrop tattoos like a prisoner. I mean,
he came across like he was mad at the world.
Yeah.
And I felt like I don't want somebody in the White House that's angry all the time. You know, and I have to say, my barometer for what I feel like is the right example for the White House is Barack Obama. Barack Obama had style, class, flavor, swag, all of that. When I looked at those people on the 2 nights, there were only a handful who I thought checked all those boxes. Bernie was not on my list.
No, he wasn't.
I don't know. What you think, Ketel?
Well, my boy is Beto. I like Beto. He spoke his little Spanish, and so did Cory Booker. It's something about Cory Booker. He doesn't rub me the right way. Him and Kamala Harris. So we'll see.
Oh, Beto O'Rourke.
O'Rourke?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think Elizabeth Warren.
O'Rourke needs some medication. He needs medication.
No, he just speaks a different language. That's all.
Well, he speaks the language, but he speaks like he has a. Like he's on Ritalin or something. I mean, you know, but that's cool. I mean, if you like him, that's cool.
I like what he says, but I did think he was a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. What he's talking about. I don't care how he speaks. It's just what he's talking about.
Well, I think Buttigieg is a little better than him. To be honest with you. I mean, I used to look at O'Rourke.
Everybody got their own opinion. Everybody got their own opinion. But Beto is my boy.
But I think O'Rourke really has a little bit of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did think that on the second night, I thought it was interesting when I was looking at one of the news reports where they showed the number of minutes that people spoke.
Yeah.
It was interesting that, gosh, I just forgot his name. Is it Yang? What's his name? The guy who wants to give everybody $1,000.
The Asian guy, Yang.
I think his name is Yang.
Call him Yin Yang.
He only spoke for like 2 minutes and some seconds. The entire night.
Yeah.
So he barely got in there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I saw it was challenging to get in there because they were like jockeying, throwing elbows,
But you know what, Ketel? That second night, there was a couple unknown guys. The one was speaking on his father being a carpenter or something, a union guy. He was very good. He spoke a lot of truth about things. He spoke a lot of truth. See, I mean, it's very objective, but what got me today, and I mean this sincerely, very sincerely, first of all, Biden was caught with his pants down, okay? Sure. That young lady hit him with something that he knew was another time in his life when he was a typical white guy, and she hit him with that, and because he started responding to it, and as he was talking, he was rambling, then he said, my time is up. His time was not up. The commentators didn't say, that's it, Mr. Biden, your time is up. He said my time, but then he went to an NAACP meeting today to explain himself. How come you couldn't explain yourself last night?
Because he couldn't pull it together.
He goes to NAACP. I look at him today, and NAACP in front of all these black people. I never was a racist. You know, like, wait a minute. You had a sister here last night that confronted you with it. You had the opportunity to confront your adversary, but you decided to ramble. You were like a deer in headlights, but then you passed the buck. Now you're going to talk to some Negroes first thing Friday morning? Come on, brother.
Because he needed that time to regroup.
Yeah, he regrouped. He went to his people. How can I do some what they call that?
What do I need to say?
What they call that in news media when you backtrack your shit? You got damage control.
Yeah.
When he was doing his damage control, and then why are you gonna wake up a fucking NAACP group of people? Yeah, meet me down at the Marriott. I'll buy lunch because I got something to say. And here come all the NAACP people come. Oh, Biden's gonna talk. Biden's talking it too. Biden's talking it too. Biden's talking it too. And he get up there and he gets with the cameras and everything. No, last night I didn't blah blah blah. Well, you could explain that last night to the woman that confronted you. So anyway,
that's what happens when you don't think fast.
He wasn't thinking fast, and that's why I'm not a supporter of Biden after last night, because his ass thing got old.
We appreciate it. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we're coming back with the Hit It and Quit It. We got some good ones for you, so don't move. We got, oh my gosh, we got so much stuff. We got to talk about Arby's, the dude that killed the woman in Charlottesville getting ready to get sentenced, and what's going on in San Francisco with the e-cigarettes. So we're coming right back with that.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Woo! Bonsoir, darling.
That's Redwine doing her thing.
I'm just happy it's Friday night.
I ain't mad at you. Going to do your thing.
Thank you. I'm here for Friday night. I'm here for it.
Go on, girl. Okay.
All right. It's time for the Hit It and Quit It headline, so I am going to attempt to hit it and quit it. Let's talk about Arby's. Arby's got some wild stuff going on.
What's up with that?
Arby's is trying to turn plant-based meat into what looks like a vegetable. And, you know, some companies have been doing vegetables that look like a meat, making burgers.
I never knew that. So explain that.
No, like the Impossible Burger and different kind of things that are soy, or not soy, but vegetable-based, but to make a burger. Arby's is doing the opposite. So their new marketing scheme highlights the meat-only credentials. You know their slogan, we have the meats. So the company now says that they've produced a new meat-vegetable hybrid food category that they call Mechtables. Mechtables. It's an obvious troll against fast food rivals, including Burger King and McDonald's and a dozen or so others. But a lot of the other companies are adding plant-based meat alternatives to their menus to satisfy your vegetarian people. You know, because if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you want something quick, you go to McDonald's, it's like either beef or chicken. But if you're a vegetarian, you don't want either one. So now that some of these companies are giving you alternatives. So Arby's came up with this. And they're saying that they have no immediate plans to sell these vegetables, but they're saying it's not a joke. This is a real thing. So they created something called a merit, like a spin on a carrot. It's called a merit. It's a meat carrot made of turkey breast sliced into the shape of a carrot. And then they cook it for an hour and they rub it down in a special carrot marinade that's made out of carrot juice powder, and then they top it with maple syrup powder. They roast it in an hour, top it with parsley, and it ends up looking like a great big carrot. It's orange like a carrot. It has a green top with the parsley, but it's actually made out of turkey.
Of turkey?
Yeah,
okay.
Turkey breast, and they form it into like a shape of a triangle.
But what are they doing? What is the end game with it? What are they doing?
It just looks like a carrot. And they're saying it's healthy. A merit has 70% of the recommended daily dose of vitamin A.
What are they selling it as?
They're not selling it yet. It's just something that they're doing. I don't know if they're planning to sell it. What they're trying to do is, I guess, keep themselves in the game with people, other companies, fast food companies, that are providing vegetable-based alternatives to meat. So you have the Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods who developed plant-based meat that tastes like real food. Now, I've had a Beyond Burger, and it tastes like a beef burger. It's really good. So they're saying that they want to continue. It's made out of vegetables. I don't know what vegetables, but it's made out of vegetables. It doesn't have any soy in it. I'm not sure if it has tofu or what it is, but it's made out of vegetables.
We're gonna Monday morning. We're gonna give Redwine a colonoscopy.
I'm just trying to tell you, that's what they're doing.
We're gonna see what's up in her butt hiney.
So anyway, Beyond Meat, those Beyond Burgers that they're doing, their stock has gone up more than 500% since May when their company went public. You know, with their IPO. Well, they did an IPO, which is an initial public offering in May.
All right.
And 500%, they're doing their thing.
All right. Well, in my opinion, stay away from Arby's because they mixing some shit, and we don't want to.
They got the meats, and now they got the merit.
Yeah, well, they got the chemical
They got
labs.
vegetables.
They got the chemical lab making all kind of crazy
They
shit.
got vegetables.
If you go to Arby's,
but see, my thing is, you gonna come out with Arby's and saying they got the meat. Now all of a sudden you have the other meat.
got a
like the other white
carrot
meat
made out of turkey and shit.
No,
Yeah.
but it's made out of turkey, so it's still meat. It just looks like a carrot.
I don't think it's just gonna wash well. To me, my thing is, but if you specialize in certain things, stay with that, and don't try to get in the game of other things.
Yeah.
Stay with that. If I want meat, I'm gonna go to Arby's. If I want chicken or seafood or somewhere else, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Roast beef.
Just stick with what you got.
They had some good ass roast beef there. That roast beef was off the chain.
Okay, y'all just haters.
Anyway,
you know what? The only thing I don't like about the roast beef is they put a lot on there, but it's never hot. It's never hot.
Yeah.
I like my sandwich to be hot, and it's never hot.
I heard that.
Oh, you like it hot, huh? You like your meat
You
like
are
hot.
You are high class.
Okay. Kevin
Right.
said she wants her meat to be hot. Okay.
Okay, well let's speak about let's make this a more happier note here. James Alex Fields was sentenced in Charlottesville for the attacks for his hate crime. And I say happy because I'm so glad this man was finally convicted. The white supremacist who killed a woman by plowing his car into a crowd of protesters during the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, was sentenced on Friday to life in prison on federal hate crime charges.
Yeah.
Now, he's going to a federal prison. A federal prison is not as vicious as a state prison, so his ass still got off lucky. But at least he'll be in jail for the rest of his life. And the young lady that got killed, her mother testified when it came to the sentencing hearing and everything. And
I remember that.
and the
Heather
young lady,
Heyer.
yeah, Heather Heyer. But you know, it's so interesting how God works because they go down there to be vicious and everything and be all right wing and all racist and whatever, and end up killing a white woman. Okay, and then the guy who what was he thinking? What makes you think that you're going to put such loyalty to a foundation that you're going to drive your car at a high rate of speed into a crowd? And after you did that, you're going to put it in reverse and back up. But let me tell you something about a vehicle because I'm a little bit mechanically inclined. Now, when you ram into something with the front of your car, you have the chance of destroying your radiator, okay, your alternator, your belt, your serpentine belt. There's a lot of things that could have went wrong where that car could have, once it crashed, it could have not moved. He was lucky that he was able to back that car up because I'm telling you, if that car would have stalled for a minute and not been able to go in reverse from them people, they would have whipped his natural ass right there. It wouldn't even been a situation of a trial involved because they would have whooped his ass so bad at that trial, at that particular scene, it wouldn't have been funny. But this man went down there and killed a white woman. God bless her family. God bless her life. God bless everything that has to do with that young lady that got killed. And I'm so glad that this gentleman got life in prison without the chance of parole. He was for the rest of his life in jail. And the sentence went on today. And he sat there in court looking like a jerk off because you're supporting the right wing. You're supporting everybody that has to do with right wing. Everybody from people that was with Trump, the whole nine. Believe me. And Trump, I don't know if Trump could even pardon the guy. I mean, it's just, he probably wants to just to save face with his people, and I'm sure the right wing people are urging Trump to pardon him. I mean, it's just it was a mess. It was a mess. But thank God the man was convicted, and he's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail. So, my brother, good riddance to you.
Good riddance to bad rubber.
He drove from Ohio. He did a crime in Virginia. He never took his ass back to Ohio, and his mother sat there crying in the courtroom. Well, your son made the decision, and you got to live with it. So I got no sympathy for his ass. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's the way that cookie
That's
crumbles.
hit it and quit it. That's a good
All
hit
right.
it and quit it. Yeah. Bye. See you.
yeah. Go to jail, brother. Do not collect $200 as a monopoly.
Not pass go.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Sit down.
Mhm.
All right. What else is happening, Ketel?
Done.
Yeah. I said, what else is happening, Ketel?
Oh, I got the next one. All right.
Yes, you do.
Not a problem. San Francisco bans e-cigarettes. Interesting.
Oh,
I never liked
e-cigarette.
things anyway.
Uh-oh.
San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't like nothing you got to plug in the wall.
Well,
I don't
they
like nothing you
shoot,
got to
man.
plug into a USB port.
But it still has nicotine. I just don't get it. They said some
Well,
of them.
Ketel,
I'm
Ketel,
sorry.
not only
I'm
that-
thinking about the jewelry.
Well, not only that, Ketel.
That's the jewel.
Not only
That's what it is.
Ketel, you plug this thing into a USB port, an electrical socket
Do you
to
really?
charge it up. Yeah, because it has a little charging thing on it. It has a USB port to charge up the thing that you sucked. I ain't gonna get into it. Go ahead, you got the story.
Okay.
Oh,
No, it's crazy.
all right. So San Francisco will become the first U.S. city to ban the e-cigarette sales after a unanimous
good.
vote by the Board of Supervisors. The mayor has indicated she plans to sign the measure. The city is legally able to pass the ban unless and until it's challenged. Okay, interesting. There are ballot initiatives, and Jewel is already prepared to get the signatures to get on the November ballot to absolutely get rid of this ordinance. So they're fighting against it, this Jewel cigarette thing. Jewel may carry the day, she added, because adults, particularly adults in places like California or San Francisco, don't like being told by legislators what they can and what they cannot do. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Jewel, which is based in San Francisco, is the most popular e-cigarette brand. That is interesting. The company said in a statement that this full prohibition will drive former adult smokers who successfully switched to vapor products back to deadly cigarettes. Deny the opportunity to switch for current adult smokers and create a thriving black market. Well, they got to buy it on black market, so let it be it. But you have made, this company, Jewel, has made so much freaking money, it's ridiculous. And so something needs to be done because these teenagers, they are getting a hold of these Jewel cigarettes, and it's just going, it's crazy.
They love it. They love it.
Yeah. But what they should do probably to start taxing them. You want to sell the Jewel cigarettes? We're going to tax your ass. That's what we're going to do. We're going to tax the hell out of you.
But did you see the X-ray of the kid who that Jewel cigarette blew up in his mouth?
Lord Jesus, no, I did not.
That was circulating last week.
Because I tell you, you charge the Jewel with in the socket to charge up the thing. That way it's.
Yeah, I don't know how it
crazy.
works, but I saw the X-ray and it blew out part of his jaw.
Blew out his jaw, his teeth.
It was a mess, and that was just looking at the X-ray.
Because he's probably toting it while it was still plugged in the wall.
I don't know.
To charge up the flow.
I didn't get.
You know what, Ketel?
It's an electric cigarette.
You know what, Ketel? You know what gets me? You know what gets me, Ketel? is when I see somebody tote on a jewel, they're getting like 9 pounds of smoke. You ever see the smoke that comes out when they blow it out?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's like 9. The room just lights it. I'm like, damn.
It's a lot of smoke.
How you going to inhale all that smoke that's not giving you a fucking buzz?
They told me it was vapor or something. I'm
Yeah,
like,
some
well,
kind...
what difference does it make?
Man, please. I'm not, like the saying went back in the day. We had a saying back in the 70s. It's fun to play games with vision, but don't play games with your eyes.
The crazy part is the e-cigarettes have been approved, also have not been approved by the FDA, which has said that the e-cigarette use in young people is an epidemic. No shit. We didn't know that. Just like cigarettes was back in the day when we were growing up. So now they're doing this electronic mess, and it seems like it's worse than regular cigarettes. Really?
Yeah, but look at how long it took for them to figure out the actual harmful effects of nicotine in cigarettes. That's not something
they
you
knew.
figure
they
out.
Just lied.
Well,
no, they didn't figure it out. They knew. They just lied. So whatever the companies were telling them, they were lying. They were making up fake stuff. They were just lying because they knew the effects of nicotine before cigarettes started. They knew it. They just, I guess, continued to research and finally dug and got the real answer.
So you're saying it's a conspiracy?
Yep. This is just a new way to get high or to die. You figure it out.
Okay.
So
conspiracy concocted by the man.
It's a C-O-N.
That's what it is. That's what it is. By the man, for the man, something.
For the benefit of the man, manipulated and perpetrated by the man. All right.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD.
Woo!
I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Woo! What's happening? Something's my darling.
All right.
It's time for Poppa DD and what's poppin'. So, what's poppin' tonight?
Well,
Papa?
you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'll be honest with you. You know, it's so interesting. I tell you, man, I don't know. As a black man, as a man of color, as a brown man, you never know what you're projecting to other people. You know, I just think that white folks have lived such a privileged life for so long. They've never been a victim of anything that has to do with negativity concerning their race. Okay, let me repeat that. White folks have never been a victim of anything concerning their race. They've always been on the top side of any negativity concerning their race. And it was very evident today when I was in a liquor store today. I got a couple 12 packs of St. Pauli Girl, which is my favorite beer. Yes, my St. Pauli Girl is that's my bitch. That's my new bitch. I drink her. And red wine. We're here. Anyway, I was just kind of talking casual. See, sometimes I talk casual around white folks just to see where their heads are, just to see where their versatility is. And this was an older white man, and he's working in a liquor store. You know, he's this typical poor white trash motherfucker with a job. He wasn't doing nothing in particular. You know what I mean? I could have got rid of him like I do on a you know the spray bottle when you kill hornets and shit. You know, hornets and wasps. Wasps and hornets are the bugs that fly in your yard. When you get hornets and wasp spray, that shit come out long and hard because they know that hornets are some bad motherfuckers, man. Them bees, not only will they sting the shit out of you, but them bitches can fly. So the hornets and wasp spray is some serious shit. When you spray it, this shit go like 10 feet in the air, and you can get them jokers, right? But I was buying some beer and some booze because I'm taking a trip here in the next couple of days, and I was making references about the debates the other night, and I said something. Well, I'm trying to figure out what I said to him. I said that like as far as unarmed black men getting shot by cops. So now I've been spending money at this liquor store for a long time, and this little older black man, older than me, he says, I don't want to. You always say that stuff. People are people. He didn't go along with the fact that unarmed black men are being killed by cops. He kind of like played it off like, why are we complaining about it? And black people black people get killed. It wasn't no big deal to him. And being the fact that I go in there and I handle this motherfucker with kid gloves. I didn't really jump in his ass. I could have fucking slayed him like a dragon and buried his ass in a fucking shallow grave. But I let him off easy. You know what I mean? I said, okay, let me just not fuck with this poor white trash motherfucker, ignorant bitch. Okay, let me just let me just kind of play along with him like, yeah, well, I said, well, black men get. He said to me that people are people and people just get killed or some shit. Some crazy shit he said. Now, this is a black man that never had to deal with the consequences of his race being unlawfully killed or unlawfully not allowed or anything. This man has never had the option of going in the back door or using another way to get in somewhere or using another way of getting into anything anywhere. And it's like, we have to understand as black people, white folks has never experienced anything that has to do with negativity. So always know that. You can love white folks if you want to. That's your business. But understand that those motherfuckers have never had to alter their fucking movement. They have never had to alter their flavor. When a cop stops them on the street, they don't get upset. They feel like a cop's holding them up for where they gotta go. And they'll tell the cop, look, I have to go to a meeting. How long is this gonna take? If you see it as a black man, shit, you might as well sign your death certificate. But this man in the liquor store today, it just proved to me he was so fucking ignorant on the ways of the world. He did not give a shit about black men unarmed getting shot. He didn't give a shit about it. He even got upset saying, you guys are always bitching about that. He said, you guys, speaking on black people, I could have slayed this motherfucker like a dragon today. But I let the bitch go because I got to come in the liquor store. They got good prices in there. You know what I mean? I get my Martell liquor in there. They got little bottles for $1.99. Best prices in town. And so I fuck with the place. So I'm just trying to keep my reputation. But I swear I could have slayed that little white motherfucker like a dragon today. But I let the bitch off easy because I say, you know what? I've learned from Martin Luther King and other leaders that I have in my life that like, let peace be still. And let me not fuck around and shoot myself in the foot because I didn't want the local police in there to come take my black ass away. Because the way I would have buried his dumb ass, I mean, he was just an ignorant white motherfucker that I could have slayed this bitch like a dragon. But I said, let me just be cool because I would like to live a long life like Martin Luther King because long life is fruitful and privileged. And I want to live into my fucking 90s. I didn't want to die in my goddamn 60s, so I let the bitch off. So, anyway, that's all I got to say about that punk-ass racist motherfucker at that liquor store today.
All right.
All right?
Okay.
Anyway.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
So he didn't see the issue.
He didn't see the issue. He doesn't even know the issue. He don't because they never have had to deal with it. Yeah. You know, anything that you don't have to deal with, then you don't know. If I had a problem, what would they call it? Continence? You know, when a man drips urine in his pants.
Incontinence.
Incontinence. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If I never had a dick drip in my drawers, then I don't know what it's like to have a dick drip in my drawers. So a motherfucker that never had a dick drip in his drawers can't even relate to he can't relate to a Depend, or he can't relate to a pad in front of his drawers to stop his underwear from being fucked up because his dick is dripping. You know what I mean? And this is how white people are. They never had to deal with a dick drip. Or you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm making jokes.
Right,
but I'm saying they never dealt with any kind of adverse situations when it comes to an inconvenience of your life when it comes to natural movement.
Well,
anyway.
Speaking of urine, I want to go to the weird news and talk about this situation with the cloning of dogs using dog urine in order to do it. I didn't know they could do that. But Richard Remdy recently became the United Kingdom representative for a South Korean company called So-Am Biotech, which specializes in pet cloning. He was chosen after first creating 2 puppies from DNA of his girlfriend's boxer's dog named Dylan. And now he's going to repeat the procedure using genetic material from his now deceased 19-year-old dog named Max. And this is a procedure that's going to be filmed as part of a documentary on HBO. This is some crazy stuff. And more amazingly, Max, this dog that's 19 years old, is going to be cloned from a urine sample.
Cloned?
They're going to clone him from a urine sample.
Oh, my God.
Unlike Dylan, whose clones Shadow and Chance, that's the dog's names, were created from tissue samples, the first animals to be cloned from urine were mice, and that was done in Japan's university. This report about a successful experiment in 2016, they said, they get into it about cells derived from urine can be collected non-invasively, because, you capture some urine, you do whatever. So they said it could be used for when you have endangered species and whatnot, okay, with no injury to the animal. So they're saying that they have cloned more than 1,000 dogs. I'm like, what? When did this happen?
Yeah, sad.
Some of them were living as pets or they were service animals, and it cost $110,000 to clone these dogs. So that's what slows down some people. But explaining his decision to clone his girlfriend's dog in the first place, he said that his girlfriend Laura was so devastated after the death of her dog, which she called her best friend. He said, I would have tried anything to make her happy again.
Wow.
So I guess he actually spent that $110,000 to clone the dog. Now, when I looked at the picture, it looked just like the same dog, like identical twins. Crazy. That's all I'm saying. It's the weird news. Anyway, over to you, Ketel.
Okay. Why y'all always give me the crazy ones? I'll never know. A historical marker commemorates reported alien abduction. Really? Pascagoula, Mississippi. Historical marker has been placed near the river where 2 men in southern Mississippi said they were abducted by aliens in 1973. News outlets report the city of Pascagoula dedicated the marker Saturday at Lighthouse Park. Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker said they were on the shores of the Pascagoula River when what appeared to be aliens pulled them aboard a UFO, examined them for about 30 minutes, and then returned them to Earth. Both reported the event to the sheriff's department and were checked out at a hospital after it had happened. This was on October 11, 1973. The story has become known worldwide. Parker published a book about the experience in 2018. Hickson unfortunately died in 2011. Both said many people doubted their story. A few witnesses have come forward to corroborate some details. So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's possible. I don't know. I don't know if this stuff is for real or what. I don't know what to think. Having never seen an alien, I don't know what to think of that stuff.
You don't believe there's other life force besides us?
I think there may be, but for people to say aliens came and took them to this ship and did tests and experiments on them and brought them back here, I don't know.
Yeah, my thing is, I'm kind of on the fence, but why would somebody make something up like that? Because if you did, people would think you were nuts. You know what I'm saying? Would think, differently of you. So how would you come up with some stories like that? And some of the details were corroborated by some witnesses. So,
well, it's easy to get people to corroborate your story. But
Well,
I'm just saying, sometimes people do stuff to get their 5 minutes of fame.
Right.
3 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, but they got it. They got a commemoration, so I guess they'll be telling those stories for times to come, I guess.
I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, what you got for us, Papa?
I have a man builds a bomb to warn about alien threat. This happened in Myerstown, Pennsylvania. Where the hell is that at? This is reported by the Associated Press. Authorities say a man who allegedly placed a homemade bomb in a parking lot behind a Pennsylvania hotel told them he did it to warn police about aliens bent on destroying the planet. State troopers responded to the Barley House in Myerstown on Sunday. They discovered a suspicious package in 29-year-old David Oxenride. The state police bomb squad disabled the package. No one was injured. Authorities said that Oxenride told police that he had an encounter with an alien in 2014. I guess that's like 5 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
And he said they told him that if humans didn't start being good people, that they would destroy the planet with a nuclear laser beam. All right, so Oxenride is charged with manufacturing a weapon of mass destruction, causing a risk of catastrophe and reckless endangerment, and he's awaiting arrangement, and it's not known if he's retained an attorney or not. So
really?
He's a crazy motherfucker.
He's trying to put a bomb out there to say, y'all better look, the aliens are coming. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we hit him with that red shit.
Yeah.
That red thing on the American, what was it, Men in Black?
Oh, when they flash you with the thing.
Flash you with, yeah.
Yeah, I think they need to flash him. All right, well, that's the weird news. I'm going to go ahead into, I'm just saying.
I'm not going to take a break?
Nope, because I want to get into this.
Get into it. Talk it.
I want to talk about, here's my topic tonight, is you can't shut up everybody. And this has to do with people that try to shut up a group of people. You may try to shut up a group, but you can't shut up everybody. Okay, so recently I found out that the Republican-controlled Florida House passed a bill that would restore voting rights for ex-felons. And I thought, all right, cool, that's a good thing. But then I found out that they had a condition that the ex-felons have to pay all the fees, fines, and court costs before they can cast their first vote. I was like, what? So why are you trying to disallow people, ex-felons, from being part of the American political system? Now, you know how hard it is to get hired when you fill out an application, right, for a job, and they got that question on there saying, do you have any felony, whatever, you know, that question is on there. You got Poppa DD. You got to check that box. So I'm just saying, if you want to make do all this extra stuff when it comes down to getting back your right to vote, it just doesn't seem fair to me. So I'm just saying, if you're trying to silence ex-felons who have already paid their debt to society, you may be able to silence some people, but you can't shut up everybody. We all need to speak up and fight for these people's rights, for these brothers and sisters who have served their time. Now they got to come out of jail and pay all this money? Even though the Republicans in Florida say, well, it's part of their sentence, and they're obligated to pay it. What I want to know is, was that stated when they were in court and they were told originally how much time they have to serve? I don't know if they were told that. You know, when you're dealing with a situation and the lawyer's talking to you saying, look, you just need to take the plea or agree to this, agree to that, is it really made clear that, okay, and after you serve your time, you need to pay back the court costs and any other fees, and if it was something you stole, whatever the value of whatever that was, you got to pay that back. Is that really made clear? And now here's another problem with all of this. All of this BS disenfranchises the felons, ex-felons, from voting, and it ignores the will of over 5 million Floridians who supported the statewide referendum to get rid of this stupidity. Okay, the Floridians, people in Florida, said we don't want them to have to do that. But the Senate decided, oh, yeah, we're going to make them pay. We want them to pay. I'm just saying, you can't shut up everybody. Sooner or later, the people's voices will be heard. Now, when you have so many black and brown people in the prison system in disproportionate numbers, then they come up with some ignorance like this. This is just finding new ways to suppress the vote of people of color. And why is that? Because many of them would be voting Democratic. And these crafty, manipulative Republicans know that. This is why they work and fight so hard day and night to stack the deck against us. Now, this is not dissimilar to what was called a poll tax that was instituted against not just black people but poor people in southern states back in the late 1800s. So let's go back in time, late 1800s. Even though the 15th Amendment gave former slaves the right to vote, many poor people, both black and white, did not have enough money to vote because of what they called a poll tax. They would show up to vote, and then people at the polls were like, oh, well, you got to have some money. You got to pay this. You got to pay that. And if they didn't have it, they would get turned away. So that BS got overturned with the 24th Amendment to the Constitution that ended poll taxes on January 23rd, 1964. Now, this bullcrap had been going on since the late 1800s. It wasn't until 1964, January 23rd, that the 24th Amendment got rid of the poll tax.
64 years later.
Yeah. So they've been rolling with that bullcrap for a long time. Somebody needs to tell these racist, vote-suppressing Republicans in Florida that this thing was done in 1964. Stop trying to suppress the vote. All they're doing is creating a whole new version of it, and they're targeting now the ex-felons this time, who happen to include large numbers of people of color. I'm just saying, if voting was not so important and so powerful, I don't think people would try so hard to keep us from doing it. It makes me want to vote even more. Every time there's an opportunity to vote, we need to be the first in line to let our voice be heard and let our votes be counted. It's a commodity that not all Americans can afford. That's because of stupid stuff like what they're doing in Florida. So that's all I'm saying. This is Redwine, and I'm just saying they can't shut us all up. So stand up and be heard every chance you get.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Thanks.
All right, Redwine, I hear you. All right.
This stuff makes me angry.
You know, I'm
crazy.
gonna tell you, and I'm gonna go right into this on Living for the City, and I appreciate you, Redwine, saying that, because I've always told people, and if you have older parents, if you have parents that are 70 years or older, you have to understand that the 1800s was not that long ago. It's not that long ago. Stop thinking 1800s is ancient time. If you go in some of these cemeteries, you will see that there's 1800s on these tombstones, very prevalent, very prevalent. My own grandparents were born in the 1800s. My father's parents was born in the late 1800s. I think one of them was born in 1896. The other one was born in 1892. Because my father was born in 1924. So, hell, if you're born in 1924, hell, your parents got to be born in the late 1800s. If you're born in 1924, what are they, 24 years old when they had your ass? You know? And he's the youngest out of 5 kids. So they had to have him long before that. But And it's so sad. If you would relate to what Redwine was saying, is that problems that we dealt with in the late 1800s was not settled until 64 years later. So all I'm saying is that white folks have been living a privileged life for a lot of years. And the fact that black people are trying to come into their own is only pissing them off because they have been privileged for so long. Now they only beating up on the illegal Spanish people, but the legal Spanish people are living large. They live in large. They're cutting grass. They're doing all kind of shit. They're driving I was at Home Depot the other day. I saw this Spanish guy. I guess he was building somebody's steps. He had the little zigzag thing you put on the end of the steps that goes up the steps. He had the wood and everything, some cement, what have you. This boy had an F-150 that was brand new. It was off the chain. Off the chain. 2019 F-150, brand new. Brand friggin' new. And it just going to show you that the progress they're making is crazy. But anytime black folks start making progress, white folks feel like whatever they have in their privileged world is going to be threatened because you as a black man, you're driving a Mercedes now. Why aren't I driving a Mercedes? Well, you're not driving a Mercedes because your poor white trash ass ain't stepping up your game. You've been living off of white privilege, but you have not been progressing as the year goes on. You've been living off what you got. You can't keep living off what you got. You got to rebuild, as the Bible say. You got to find new ways of profit. And white folks ain't been doing that because they just feel like, long as I'm white, my shit gonna come natural. It's not gonna come natural. That's not the world we living in today. That's why you get pulled over and you got a nice car because the cop want to see whether or not you stealing or dealing. You got a nice Cadillac, you got a nice Mercedes, you got a nice BMW. He just pull you over because he want to know who you are and what you made of and how the hell did you afford this fucking brand new Cadillac? How'd you afford this brand new Mercedes? How'd you afford this brand new fucking BMW with your black ass? I'm a police officer making $46,000 a year, and I drive a motherfucking Honda Accord. You know, we have to understand the mindset of people and try not to do things that's going to upset their ass because the more upset the white cop gets, the more vicious he gets because that's what he's made of. That's who he is. That's what pisses him off. That's why when you get stopped, you need to act like a typical black Sambo motherfucker. Tell him what he wants. Let him know what he wants to hear. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, his ass to death. Lick his ass. Lick his balls. If he pulls out his balls, then go ahead and fucking teabag his ass, just so you can leave from the scene without getting your black ass shot. You know, all I'm just saying is that, you know, and one more thing I want to say, and I'm not going to take the time for it all. I heard two different things today that really pissed me off. You got the Clay Kane show on Urban View. I listen to Urban View. It's on satellite radio. Urban View. A lady came on today and she was talking in Biden's defense, and she said, "Well, you know, I don't believe that Miss Harris," and she jumped in Harris's ass. She said, "I don't believe Miss Harris. I'm a Biden fan. And Miss Harris, we need to watch herself because that was a long time ago." And this is a black woman talking now. "Nobody cares about what happened 30 years ago with you with your busing and things. Biden is the man for us." And this is a black woman so prone into licking white ass, and she didn't give a shit about what Miss Harris said, talking about how that was long ago. Okay? Then you had Mitch McConnell, what's the name? Mitch McConnell? Is that how you pronounce his name? 2 weeks ago saying that why should we be concerned with black reparations, 40 acres and a mule, when that happened a long time ago? Let me talk like him. That happened a long time ago. We're not responsible for some stuff that happened so long ago that nobody here today is involved in, blah, 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 blah. Now, either that woman or Mitch McConnell would never say that shit to the Jews about the fucking Holocaust. If you tell the Jews to forget about the Holocaust, they will shoot you in your fucking balls, okay? they will kick your ass. The Jews want you to remember the Holocaust for the rest of your life, whether you was involved in it or not. That's just what they believe in. That's what they know. But black people, this lady today on a Clay Kane show was saying that, I don't know why Miss Harris was freaking out over something happened 30 years ago. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, damn, sister. If that's how Miss Harris felt about the shit, she finally had a chance to confront Biden in a fucking open forum that she's running against him. She's competing with him, and she wanted to lay his ass to rest, and she did. She knocked his dick in the watch pocket. Okay, so that's what she did to him today. But it's so sad today that our own black people have their own racist levels where they would disarm. Now, and here's the deal, and I'm gonna close on this. If Miss Harris wins the primary and she becomes the elected official to go against Trump, that black woman that's so pro-Biden will not vote for her. She won't even vote. And Trump will fucking win.
That's so stupid.
Trump will fucking win because your dumb black ass loves Biden so much. You licking his white balls so much that you will pick that you will not even vote for that black woman because you're pissed off because your man Biden didn't get in. And that's why these Republicans win this shit, because black people are fucked up too. They're fucked up too. Excuse my language. No, don't excuse my language. I said this shit to make my story sound better. Anyway.
All right, man. I am not mad at that.
Should have heard her. Crazy.
It's all crazy.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
I had to go give me a shot of tequila. I had to regroup on that one, Papa.
That's right.
I'm drinking some Elijah Craig.
Well, let's head out to the Hollywood Report with Ken and find out what's going on in the industry. What you got for us, Ken?
Boy. You better hold on to your wigs and sit down tight.
Uh-oh.
Hey, let me clutch your pearl.
Okay.
What's going on?
Ivana Trump announces that she is single and rich in epic break-up statement. She goes on to say Ivana Trump has broken up with her boyfriend / ex-husband. He was 37 or 47, and she is 70 years old. They divorced in 2009 and reconciled soon after that. Split. So they got divorced, got back together, and now he's gone now. Trump and her fourth husband remain friendly, no longer romantically involved. While most breakup statements would end there, this one went on to taunt her marriage to President Trump, saying this blew up. Her divorce deposition that he sexually assaulted her. Now, this is Donald Trump. She named each of their headline drawing children, which was Ivanka, Don Jr., and Eric. And she mentioned being selected to the 1972 Olympic ski team, despite the validity of this claim being disputed. So she's saying that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her. But I guess she was being hush-hush because of their divorce, I guess. So Trump's, her statement about the split was the true kicker, though. She said, I am once again a single woman, and I have the freedom to do whatever I want with whomever I want, and I can afford my lifestyle. Excuse-moi. We go back to this white privilege again. And she claimed that she's done with being married. Okay. Interesting, they were on the Dancing with the Stars in Rome when they were married, her and the husband. His name is Rubicandi. Like I said, he was 47. They dated for 6 years, and they married. Check this out. It was a $3 million wedding at Mar-a-Lago in 2008. So in her divorce from Donald, she got the estate for 1 month out of the year. And, of course,
wow.
she had the two sons, Don Jr. and Eric. They wore white tuxedos. And Ivanka, she was a bridesmaid. I was like, interesting. I
Wow.
wonder where was Donald Trump?
Wow.
Also, talking about relationships, everybody knows Catherine McPhee and David Foster. They've been dating. You know, she's from American Idol, and he was a consultant on the American Idol show. He is, 68 or 67, and she is 33. But they're in marital bliss. Matter of fact, they're getting married today, June the 28th, which is today. Their time to not. They have been dating for about, I think, 4 years, they said. And they want to tie the knot. Like, okay. I ain't mad at her. She was in a 2-year relationship with this show she was on called The Scorpions. Her co-host, Elias Gable, they dated for 2 years, and then he was married for 4 years. And he just recently divorced his wife, which was she was a real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Yolanda Hadid. But hey, they say it's gonna work, so we'll see. She reminds me of Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey got married to the older gentleman, and she kind of more or less used him for her, you know, to advance her career. Hey, look, David Foster, he got the money, and she got the look, so she said, I'm going to use it. So I ain't mad at her. Okay. In other news, Chaka Khan says she was pissed about hearing Kanye West sample her song Through the Fire. So West, he did call her and ask her if he could sample the song. This is the 85 track Through the Fire. And Chaka Khan, she was not happy about the result. When she heard the song for the first time, she was taken aback as the hook was extremely sped up. Chaka Khan went on to admit that had she known West was going to change her vocals, she would have said no. He would have said hell no. So when asked if she ever told Kanye West how she felt, Khan said no. She says, I mean, well, what can I say? Nonetheless, she's reaping the benefits if she's getting paid. So you can say all you want, whatever you want, but you're getting paid. So that's that. Also, I want to report on our BET Awards. Our girl, Regina Hall, she did the damn thing. She did it. DC's own Regina Hall. She invited EU, her girl, Taraji P. Henson. They did the butt when they first came out. That was the joint. So,
yes, they did.
I think this was one of the best BETs I've seen because they brought the flavor of DC. And matter of fact, I spoke to her earlier. She called me earlier and told me that she just had to get EU there. And he said he had canceled some appointments just to be there at BET. So they had performances by EU, Kirk Franklin. They did the damn thing. Some new rapper, a female called Lizzo, with the wedding gown and everything. I couldn't get into that, but, I mean, if that's your flavor, that's your flavor. Lucky Day. Lucky Day. Roll Some More. That's his new single. He's off the chain, too. Cardi B, Fantasia, she got it in, too, with her new single. She was wearing the damn thigh-high boots. Her. Right. Also, the marathon continues, the tribute to Nipsey Hussle. That was off the chain with John Legend and Khalid. And they had a whole choir backing them up. And Marsha Ambrosius, she did the damn thing also.
Yeah, she sure did.
So they had various winners like Cardi B. She won. Nipsey Hussle, he won. Drake, he did a collaboration with a couple of rappers. Beyonce, she got it in, so she won an award. Migos, it's a rap group. Bruno Mars, your boy, Redwine. Michael B. Jordan, he won Best Actor. And the best movie was Black Klansman. That's with Denzel Washington's son. He played the lead role in that. So Those were some of the winners on the BET Awards. But I'm telling you, I'm so proud to see Regina do her thing.
She put DC on the map.
Yeah, she did.
That's what I'm talking about. They talked about that on TV and the radio. So,
yeah, talking about Mary Berry and bitch set her up.
Yeah.
Bitch set him up.
Sure did.
Yeah. Oh, and my girl, I'm sorry, my bad. One more thing. My girl, she got that Lifetime Award. Mary J. Blige, she got it in. She did her thing. You talking about a concert? That was a concert to remember. Sitting beside her boy that started her career, what's his name? P. Diddy. He started it all. And Mama was sitting right beside her. So Rihanna was sitting beside him. So they all got it in. So it was off the chain.
Yeah.
They know their beginnings. I appreciate that. They all went back to their beginnings.
Yeah. You got to go back where it all started. Yep.
Okay.
Back when you was poor and was, you know.
Okay. Well, it's time for the cocktail of the week. What you got for us, Ketel?
Hey, I'm kind of parched. Let me see if I can get me a sip of this cocktail. Rosemary citrus greyhound.
Need a bird bath?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, here we go. Quarter cup of vodka. That's it. Damn, I might need more than that. A half a cup of grapefruit juice. That's your thing, Papa. A splash of lemon juice. A splash of orange liqueur of your choice. 1 rosemary sprig to garnish, and 1 slice of grapefruit to garnish. So we're going to combine the vodka, grapefruit juice, lemon juice, and orange liqueur in a large pitcher. Oh, we're making a large pitcher. Serve in glasses over ice and garnish each glass with a rosemary sprig and a grapefruit slice. It sounds delicious.
Woo!
That's the rosemary citrus greyhound. The rosemary citrus greyhound. Now, I'm not understanding what the greyhound comes in, but whatever works for you. So, yeah, that's cute. So it will be on our website, pajamaparty.com. Yep.
All right. Hey, Poppa DD, can you tell the people about what is the Kiss It list? Because we're getting ready to move into the Kiss It list.
We're going to go into that. That's the thing where all the people we talked about that we was pissed off about what they did, we're telling them to kiss our complete butt heinies, and we're going to put them on a list and give them a song, and that's how it goes.
Okay. Well, can I start it off? Because I have a list.
Yeah.
I've been compiling a list all week. So I've got, now this is an interesting one, Jefferson County Grand Jury. This is out of Birmingham, Alabama. They have decided to indict a black woman who was shot by another black woman. They indicted her because she was pregnant, 5 months pregnant, okay?
Yeah, I heard about that.
5 months pregnant. She started a fight with the other black woman. The other black woman shot her in the stomach. She later miscarried, lost the baby, but she got indicted and held on a $50,000 fine in jail because they're saying, you're the mother, you should have protected the unborn child. The woman who pulled the trigger and shot her in the stomach got nothing. She wasn't jailed. She didn't get indicted. Nothing. No charges. How stupid is this? This woman, I don't care who started the fight. This woman brought a gun to the fight, shot her in the belly, killed her unborn child, but she is the one who's being fined. This is ignorant. So I'm putting the Jefferson County Grand Jury in Birmingham, Alabama, on the Kiss It list because y'all some stupid-ass people.
Always have been.
Trump putting him on the list because of his comment he made regarding E. Jean Carroll, who accused him of sexual assault when he said, she's not even my type.
Well, not today, she's not. I'm sure 30 years ago, when you was grabbing her pussy in the fitting room, she didn't look like that.
Yeah. So he's on the Kiss It list. Also, there's a 30-year-old Princeton graduate who killed his father by shooting him in the head after his father said, I'm cutting off your allowance. This dude is 30 years old. You gonna kill your father because he said, look, at 30 years old, I'm not giving you an allowance
He
anymore.
probably was dating a white woman. I mean,
He
a
went
black
and shot him in the head? What is wrong with
He
you?
probably was dating a black woman. That's probably why.
Something wrong with him. Also, I've got Kim Kardashian.
Uh-oh.
She came out recently with a new shapewear line, you know, to suck it in, flatten it down, and all of that. She named her shapewear line Kimono. Kimono, right? Why are you going to name it after Japanese kimonos? That has nothing to do, because a kimono is a free-floating, loose garment. This thing is sucking in everything.
Yeah.
And you're playing off of a Japanese cultural garment. Once again, cultural misappropriation. Why? You done pissed off and offended the Japanese people, so come on, Kim.
I never was a fan of Kim because when I saw the mixtape between her and Ray J, you know, she's got a typical fat vajayjay that is not that attractive. So she may be pretty in the face and pretty in the makeup and all that shit and fat ass. But that vajayjay is very typical. So,
Well, I didn't see all of that.
anyway.
Also, the Oregon runaway senators, all of y'all, put y'all on the kiss it list. And then I've got one last one, no, two are. The racist employees at J. Alexander Restaurant in West Bloomfield, Michigan, for asking a black woman to give up her table for two white men.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. And then when she said no, the server told her, well, I'm not going to wait on you. I'm not going to serve you. And she already had a drink.
That was right outside Detroit.
Yeah, they took her drink off the table, threw it in the sink, and then made her pay for the drink.
Man, I tell you.
She couldn't even drink. And then showed her to the door and told her, get out.
I could not even been a part of that situation.
I would have tore that joint down.
They would have had to haul me out of there.
I would have acted like I was having an epileptic seizure and tore that joint up.
I just think the black people should stop patronizing that place.
But I'm saying I would have acted like I had epilepsy, and I would have just started jumping in the
we got some
my thing, and I would have ripped that joint up from one side.
We got some bougie Negroes that are walking there with their money saying, fuck it, I got money. Blah, blah, blah,
yeah, well, they need to stay out of this.
Just stay out.
And last on my list is Arby's for creating that thing called a marrot made out of meat. It looks like a carrot.
Chemical shit.
Yeah, shame on y'all.
Me, I want to talk about this guy at the liquor store today who was so fucking racist that I should have slayed him like a fucking dragon. But I let the bitch go because I like the prices in the liquor store. I didn't want to lose clout on going in there. Plus, they got my St. Pauli girl beer. I can't really find my St. Pauli girl. He has St. Pauli girl.
Okay.
So, but I swear I want to slay that motherfucker like a dragon because he said some stupid shit to me today that was just so racist that wasn't even funny. And he didn't realize it. He was just a dumb white fool.
Well, that's ignorant.
He was just talking shit. And I was like, boy, you were the most ignorant motherfucker on the planet. I mean, it was crazy. Older motherfucker. I was like, damn, you a racist piece of shit.
Anybody else? Ketel, you got anybody?
Nope. Y'all covered everybody.
How about Macy's? Go put Macy's on the...
I ain't messing with you, Papa.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, we have if that's everybody, we got a special gift for everybody on the Kiss It list. Here's your prize.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass.
You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass.
Oh, you can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever loving country ass. That's right.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel
Hello.
and Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
Okay.
It's time for the last word. What's your last word, Poppa DD?
My last word is that we won't be here next week. We'll probably have a pre-recorded show. because we're going to head down to the Essence Festival.
Oh, yeah.
New Orleans.
Pajama Party will be down in New Orleans at the Essence Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Essence, we're coming for you.
Coming for you. And it's a yearly thing that goes on where, in New Orleans you can walk around with drinks in your hands. There's no restrictions. There's no laws.
So meet us down there.
Come on down.
All
Come
right.
on down.
My last word is, if you have the opportunity to vote, please get out and vote. Every time there's an opportunity, I don't care what it is. If it's a city thing, county thing, state thing, local, whatever it is, don't wait for just the presidential election to vote. Exercise your right to vote every time you get a chance.
That's why
because it is a privilege.
That's right. That's why some people like Mitch McConnell's in for 1,000 years.
Exactly.
Because of the same old people. Who we voting for, honey? We vote for Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, every year.
Every year.
So I'm just reminding people, voting is a privilege. Please exercise your right to vote. Over to you, Ketel.
Yeah, I did one. I missed out on the Ketel list, but the Oregon folks that walked out, as far as the legislation they were supposed to be passing, they walked out on some decisions they were supposed to make.
Yeah, we had them on there.
Okay, all right. But I'm just not understanding. It's so unfortunate, and I don't think that it's. Our current president, he could be the catalyst to a lot of things that are going on, but a lot of this stuff has already been going on for a long time. I think he's just bringing it to the light. And we need to be smarter and just realize who we're putting in office, from the president to all the way down to the lower offices, because they're just not working for us anymore. It's not for the people. It's just about self now, and it's about self-preservation and money. They say the money is the root of all evil. To me, it's just coming to the light. So, you guys, we gotta, look at who we're putting in the office and just be aware. And like Redwine said, if you got a chance to vote, exercise your right to vote. These young folks now, they don't know which direction that they should go in. Maybe they need some help. But Redwine and I, we talked about this earlier. I think if more young folks knew about their past, that they would do better in their present. So let's see what's going to happen. So that's my last word.
All right. Yeah, you're right about that, Ketel. I think sometimes people think history is irrelevant, but history is never irrelevant because, as the saying goes, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it in your present or your future. So, for the Pajama Party, we thank you all for hanging out. Thank you, DC Homegrown, our parent company, for sponsoring the show, paying the bills, keeping the lights on, and all of that, yada, yada. Appreciate you. We also want to thank our listeners. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see, like Papa said, we won't be here next week. We may have a pre-recorded, or we may just not be on the air. I don't know yet. But we'll be back the following Friday to let you know what went down in New Orleans, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to tell it all. So until the week after next, this is Redwine signing off, saying bonsoir. Say good night, Papa.
Good night, everybody.
And say good night, Ketel.
Good night.
We'll see you the week after next on the Pajama Party Show. Peace.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of jazz.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show.
and good night.
Pajama Party, grown and sexy, join the party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, grown and sexy, join the party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, grown and sexy, join the party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, grown and sexy, join the party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.